Mark, how did you first become aware of Matt as a possibility of when he could join Forest Green?
Um, Probably a couple of weeks ago. He came to train with us. His brother asked if towards the end of the season if he could come and if Matt could come and train with us, and he came in for sort of 2 or 3 weeks, and he was a real positive influence on the players with his experience and trained really well. And I had a couple of conversations with him and spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, and we started talking about, listen, there may be a possibility of us doing something and trying to get a little bit of experience on the pitch and in and around a young group as well, which is something that we didn't really have last year. He's going to come in predominantly as a player, but he's going to start to do some coaching as well. And that'll certainly help us in terms of, you look at Farron Ross and Nathan McGinley, 2 promising young defenders that I'm sure can learn off Matt.
And you think, well, Lee Collins has left the club, so too has Gavin Gunny. So there really was that need for an experienced defender, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was an experience for a good defender. We've signed experienced defenders in the past that have not helped. And I think the key thing was getting to have a look at him for those 3 weeks, and perfect. We could have a look at him. He could have a look at us. I think he really enjoyed being in and around us and what we were trying to achieve with a young group. And I think he can really help the boys going forward. Certainly on the pitch and definitely off it. And like I say, a player coach's role as well.
And someone who's played 300 odd games in Championship level, I suppose that experience, that knowledge, that know-how, that quality is just going to be invaluable.
Yeah, of course it is, and he has an affinity to the area in terms of being from Swindon as well, and his brother being here, and I think it was a big pull for him to play with his brother, on the same pitch. But no, it's a really good signing for us. He could have gone elsewhere for double the money, but I think he wants to start off on his coaching journey, but predominantly he's going to play.
Moneybags Forest Green getting another bargain.
Yeah, listen, we have to concentrate on sometimes a different way of doing things, and this time it's with using his younger brother to try and get him here.
You mentioned the coaching. Obviously, there's a vacancy at the head of the academy at the moment. How's the search progressing for that, and how involved are you with that?
I've not had too much to do with that sort of search, or that's the club are gonna. I think they're going to sift through the applicants, and then I'll have a look once they get to the later stages on potential candidates that have got a realistic chance of getting the job.
And the level Matt will be coaching at, would that be sort of first team, youth team mixture?
Yeah, across the board really. I think, and I've had a good conversation with this morning. When you've played to the level Matt has or is, you have a real good understanding of the game, and it's then about how you put those ideas into a coaching session and how you try and get the players to learn from that session, and that's what he wants to learn. And he'll get plenty of opportunities with, like I say, we've got some really good young defenders in sort of Shepherd, McGinley, Rawson. And also being a top defender, he'll understand what he didn't like in strikers and what can hurt defenders. So he can work with them, he can work in the academy, and he's desperate to get his foot on that ladder.
In terms of the rest of squad building, how many more do you feel that you need? Obviously, there were only a couple who were released at the end of the season.
There were, but we didn't have a very big squad at all. So, we still probably need 3 or 4, and we're trying to be selective as we were last year. We had a really decent summer in terms of recruitment, and we want to do that again to try and take us that 5 or 6 points more if possible that we need to get in the top 3.
And presumably you've got to have a backup plan if Reece Brown goes elsewhere. What is the latest on his situation?
That there is no development. I personally can't see Reece staying. I think he'll move on to a big club. He's earned that, and he knows if he wants to play, this is the best place for him at a lower level. But we can't compete with big League One and Championship clubs, and it'll come down to that opportunity and money.
But Forest Green will get something for the development that they've aided him with, and which presumably you can then go out and look for replacements with.
Yeah, of course. It's not going to be vast sums of money because he was only with us for 2 years, but we did everything we could to get him to stay in terms of offering what we offered. So that will be taken into consideration. But listen, we knew that. We knew where that was going, and is what it is. But there's plenty of players out there, and we're trying to be really selective. The ones we get, we look in a different pool from a lot of other teams in terms of the technical aspect. So we're working through it.
And the more players that you can get moving on to a higher level, I suppose, the more attractive Forest Green look as a club where people can improve themselves.
Yeah, we have that reputation of young agents and want their young players to come here because they know that we work with them, we play them, and they have a chance to move on. So that will continue while we're here.